쉽게 수비 냠는다 되네 가서래 에 전주의 냠는 거 쉬어와 진상은 아 제게 현지에 버쳐봐다 안에 되는 게 아실래 현지에 버쳐봐래 안세 맞추 버쳐봐서 공도 그래서나 되네 라니 개위 자원 주베야래 안에 직강하다 되니 지태리급에 델리안 셈마로 수고금제 수고금제 자월 정보에서 쉬어나 이네 저기 개위 자와 간식 주발이네 나 저기 바시디 레로레스 세상 레로디 가야라 레메 바셔야라는 준주님은 제레스 제가 디니 인상아주 네 준주세대 개위 자와 제발이야 델리야 네 가위 주위 셈바들로 주위 셈바 준주를 그래 제가 디니 인상 개위 자와 제발로 주위 셈바디 바장치 안디 제단에 레로가루레스 디니 인상은 개위 자와로 준주이나 네 자와님을 야부용도 그래서 대산에 준주님을 제거해서 해야 돼 준주 야부용 쇼스 몰람 제로 어디고 쉬러다.
So, good afternoon. Then this morning we looked at two more of the six perfections. We looked at patience and joyous perseverance. So patience is a mind that remains undisturbed in the face of adversity. So if one is experiencing adversity from another person, one's mind stays undisturbed despite the situation, and thereby does not respond in a way that brings any harm to the other person. And thereby one's commitments to ethics are maintained. And moreover, when engaging in virtuous activities to benefit others, then one also often encounters difficulties and hardships. And there one remains patient whilst encountering these hardships, whether they are internal from our own side or from others. Our mind stays calm and undisturbed. And then in terms of joyous perseverance, so joyous perseverance, the nature of this is, or the essence of the joyous perseverance is a mind that takes delight in performing in virtuous activities. And this is the antidote to laziness, because when we engage in virtuous activities, our main obstacle to doing so repeatedly and in ever greater ways is this mind of laziness. And we overcome this through cultivating this mind that takes delight in virtue. And in these two preceding verses, we expressed our aspirational prayer to accomplish these essential practices.
람사 미셴이 녀바체바이나 람사 텔리아 콘라야다 안디네 용고레 안에 셈추주 고레 다 소수의 기회 자와제 근데 갈래 파야다 야지 소수기 안지 삼노다 바보 심보라 차용도 야지 기회 자와랴 제 기회 자제기랴 안에 지금 수요마도 버제 근데 마수바지 셈추주야 용고로 디네제 인자 디네 인자 난줄이야 안에 기회 자와가 주기 녀레나 아주 장도를 지어고래서 와다서 양내 양도 아주야 미션기야 뇌버 제바다 디네 강아 제벤 델리아스 파 콘로랑지 셈 콘로랑미아 셈비기 셈 추체 콘마라바지 셈 링자지 되도가 지긴 셈비기 디네게 삼로도 양내 양도 당고래서 다 수수게 기회 자와다 신뢰 펜버드비 자와로 시대 깔레 카웨네 디네 깔레데 잡다 수수 판도 친구다 깔레데 쟁인다 셈비기 안에 델리아스 지게 도치네 삼당고레스 야네야도 삼당 되네야
디디타마데 양양
가리비 자와 두야라 깔레 카데다 노두사 마레스 마 다쯤 투제 바용삼마 자자죠로 되네 멤버 되네기 제와 제야라다 야고 되네 인자 고브라와들 지기 깔레 같이 지긴 셈비게 다 되네게 삼로 뽑아로 지게 기억고스고와 딩아제 넘기네 되네 되다 두스네 자야들 왔으면 야네야도 삼다 자야돼 지상 준주세디에 아니가 지게 레로 가젤레 준주 호노께네 레로데 가루고 라가지 지상 소주의 기회 자와 제발에 신뢰 펜버 주바다 랑이 냠는 지야라고 빼면서 약보래 가고 빼 약보래 아사 니링안에 되네 지기라고 빼면서 약보래 삼제 소수기 개위 냠는 제바이나 라레 핑거래 셴레 핑거래 체디기 아니 디기 삼마인바 아니 겨와치마 하다 미고와 토토야다 산 타바다 탐지 김고와 토토야 지서 제비 전적인 냠는 제바이나 개위 자와 제벌로 전적까지 전의 체나 냠는데 야가 용고래 지사 연대 야고쇼도 되는 개위 자와데 지기나 선배게다 야네 야도 알루스네 삼다이는 예래야 근데 냠는 세팅은 삼다이데 장도를 시야로 되네게 삼는 때까지 대 삼는 숙체 지역에네 되네게 자와 제비값을 내도 근데 저쇼디 숙체다 아니 깔래 지역에네 요즘에 남산 깔래 될야 근데 도선 세보금 도와도 용거래 진짜 되네자 예래는 아도 야네 야도 심리야 두스네 삼고를 해서 그러다
The purpose of meditation is to cultivate familiarity with a new way of thinking and thereby turn away from harmful ways of thinking that we are already habituated to. So in the context of patience, this is something that is incredibly important that we develop strong and stable habituation with because of the danger that anger poses to our engagement of virtue, and in particular the accomplishment of the bodhisattva ideal. So we need to cultivate on the great harm that comes from responding in a habitual way, even in responding in the way that within the world is considered appropriate. And if we reflect on this repeatedly again and again, we will start to be able to, not just in our meditations, but even in the face of adversity, start to respond in a wiser way, a more skillful way. And similarly with the practice of joyous perseverance. This is also something we need to train in repeatedly over a sustained period. Because if we do so, we will come to take ever more delight in engaging in virtue and want to do so more and more. And we do so through making the mind positive, making the mind joyful, in looking at, firstly, the incredible opportunity that we have all achieved through our own endeavors in the past, and then through engaging in these activities repeatedly over a sustained period, the goal that will be achieved and the benefit that will come for ourselves and others. And when we think, when we reflect on this, then this will serve to make us want to engage in virtuous activities, such as meditating on patience. And as we meditate then more and more on patience, when we see ourselves becoming more skilled in dealing with the recollection of past situations where we did get angry, or role-playing future situations and how we can be more skillful, due to the strength of mind that's been generated from our meditative experience, we will start to want to encounter such difficulties so as to have the opportunity to actually transform them and be of benefit to someone who really is suffering. And then moreover, as we're gaining experience and strength like this, strength of mind like this, then this form of laziness that is dispiritedness, perhaps, the laziness of dispiritedness, or there's another adjective, that will start to weaken, because we will start to gain experience that all these various instructions, these trainings that are being shared with us by our teachers, these aren't beyond us. They may be difficult, we may not have familiarity with them, but through repeatedly hearing teachings and reflecting on those, that familiarity is being gained. And we will see the change within ourselves, and this too will serve to weaken that mind of laziness, strengthen the practice of joyous perseverance, and our other virtuous practices as well. And in this way, we will accumulate incredible causes for happiness for ourselves and others in this life, and from life to life, as well as the rapid progression towards the attainment of the goals where we can be of lasting benefit to others, liberation from suffering, and enlightenment itself. And this comes about through expanding ever expanding the power of our own minds. And through this process, we will start to gain experience of being actually able to overcome adverse situations, whether from external sources or internal sources, overcome these situations that previously had overwhelmed us. And moreover, as we continue to progress and gain ever greater experience, we will no longer seem to see those adverse circumstances as such, because of the ease with which we'll transform those difficulties.
yang 저게 디비 자와 마인바 양아 저게 내가 저게 되게 기회야 마인바 디비 자면 보다 지금 저게 내가 망고 지금 리제자로다 저게 제 제mol야 집에 되어버 가라라 제모자다 제mol라 가보 되어버게다 아니 되게 내가 지깔래가 제나 디짝인 선비게 나 지금 내가 제대로 되어버 지어와 어디서 준비하게 말해. 그래서 저기 도구를 있어야지 갈래. 도구 깔래 도구는 깔래야 세우라. 같이 잡나 개인 셈비게 도구를 셈빙 따게 준비 말해. 준비 있어야 돼. 개위 자와지 자와라. 될래 가나 쪼외 삼바들라. 아니 준비라고 말도. 개위 자와다 미기외 자와만 지나 되니게 레기 자와지려 되니게 지게 가보지는 해야 돼. 아직에 두루이셔야지. 맞다. 전주라고 말지. 뉴다 건조 도로를 미유디 가가자대로 이제 되니기야. 개발 채워야겠지 뭐래.
Joyous perseverance is a mind that takes delight, that's a joyous aspect, in virtuous activities, and due to that engages in these activities again and again, more and more, and that's the perseverance aspect. So the mind of joyous perseverance has these qualities, but a key component is the object needs to be a virtuous object. So if one enjoys hunting, for example, one may take great delight in killing. One may go through many hardships, crawling through the bush to kill. This is not joyous perseverance, even if joy is arising in your life and one is making great efforts. And because the object is not virtuous. So in various walks of life where we may take joy and persevere in our endeavors, such as in our place of work, or in our fields of entertainment, or enjoying sport, or playing sport. So we may make great effort, we may be having a good time, but this isn't joyous perseverance. So where we're expressing here a capacity for joyous perseverance, that capacity, if we were to refocus it on a virtuous object, that then would be joyous perseverance. So what differentiates a particular endeavor of great effort with a mind of delight, as to whether it can be called joyous perseverance or false joyous perseverance, is the object. Whether the object is virtuous or not. Now we come to a new verse, which is an expression of aspirational prayer in connection with the fourth practice, that of concentration. So now we come to the 21st verse, and I apologize for this and the next one. It's completely new translations. Before the retreat started, I thought I had retranslated or checked the whole translation. And last Friday morning, reading through it, I realized the memory is not so reliable. So I apologize. So this verse and the one afterwards, I'll have to read a few times. So first of all, the verse on concentration. I pray to meditate with the union, having abandoned the calm abiding that lacks the power of meditative insight to quell the extreme of existence, and that is detached from the moist compassion to quash the extreme of peace, and that mostly propels one back to cycles of existence. So I'll read it again, mentioning the lines, and during this commentary, I'll be reading it again. So for us, the first line, for again the fourth line, I pray to meditate with the union, comma, having abandoned the calm abiding. And now our second line, that lacks the power of meditative insight to quell the extreme of existence. That's our second line. Our third line, and that is detached from the moist compassion to quash the extreme of peace. And our fourth line, and that mostly propels one back to cycles of existence.
Siba kowale dreadi kowale joala ane nga juge sibi ki kowa kiye ki yu leda nyomo ba di nane de zo ane dase mariba di pangko korwa sore jesa tonyi topi tonyi ma topa ina ane tonyi topi ki shila songre ji komje tonyi topi ane shila songre ma topa ina ane kowa kiye yu dase mariba di 네 방투 말해서 시대는 별 하던 또단 잘 세대 되니기 동유도 비셔라 안 동유도 비시내다 안 비시내 뒤간에 동유를 별 하통 안 되니기 냠내 고르에서 뒤냠내 매바이나 하는 아주 예 띵에 진간에서 공부이네야 아니 코월 기지 교 대진 말이빠디 방투 사번나 제가 방투 말해서 시대는 별 하던 또단 잘
So for us, our second line, so read the first two lines. I pray to meditate with the union, having abandoned the calm abiding. And then the second line, that lacks the power of meditative insight to quell the extreme of existence. So the first line in the Tibetan is the second line, and that's what Ken has just commented on. That lacks the power of meditative insight to quell the extreme of existence. So here, one is expressing the prayer that for us was in the first line. I pray to meditate with the union, having abandoned the calm abiding that lacks the power of meditative insight to quell the extreme of existence. So we say existence. This is a synonym for samsara. So when you hear not existent but existence, this is an extreme samsara. So the root cause of our continued rebirth in cyclic existence is the contaminated karma that we accumulate under the influence of our own afflicted minds. And these have as their root cause the ignorance of self-grasping. And it is this that we have to abandon through the wisdom realizing emptiness. But in order for the wisdom realizing emptiness to have sufficient strength to actually be able to abandon this root cause of cyclic existence that is still so strong within us, we have to do so with a calm abiding that is united with meditative insight. If our wisdom realizing emptiness is not conjoined with calm abiding and meditative insight, it lacks the strength to eliminate the root cause of cyclic existence, the ignorance of self-grasping. So that's the beginning, the meaning of the beginning of this verse. I pray to meditate with the union, having abandoned the calm abiding that lacks the power of meditative insight to quell the extreme of existence. So the prayer is to abandon mere calm abiding, but to develop calm abiding that is in union with meditative insight.
koba siba sene siba sede siba koba sede 제가 siba kowale drawa sibe tale draw sede sibe kowa tale ba tale draw la ane gare mane mugore sene kowa giji yu den지 말이 봐 님제 매봐서 그래 디수인 님그리에서네 동요도 비셔라 동일라 미비기 신예주 되는 동일라 라통 실라 손적이 람 동반일라 미비 실라 손적이 람 디기 아니 시바 코와리 끼와 제비기 유 다지 말이 봐 만님 님제 매봐서 두고 그래서 지사님 쇠두 그래서 그러다
So this term to quell, that to abandon the calm abiding that lacks the power of meditative insight, to quell the extreme of existence. So this term translated as quell is usually translated as to subdue or suppress. So like we can imagine with the hand pushing something down. So that is what is it that is one is wanting to suppress or to quell? That is samsara, in particular, the cause of our suffering, the ignorance of self-grasping. And how does one push this down, suppress this, quell it? That is through coming to realize emptiness on the basis of the union of calm abiding and meditative insight. When a realization of emptiness is conjoined with the union of calm abiding and meditative insight, then it becomes a powerful mental path that will lead to liberation from samsara.
나중에 시다는비 니질렌지비 시다 세디 라니 기된다라 라니 지비 된다라 코와를追비기 좋아디 안에 시다시고래 시외 타디 시에데 가르람나 지금 코와르기 유념몽바 마시 빵빵와서 시와 대빵배 빵에 탈바세디 시위 타들이 라니 지구에 돈다라 아니 탈바톱나 대탈바디 시와 시위 다시 오르와 제가 되네 시위 타디 파 매어서야라 가르고 오선 니지 공부를 했어요 니지 매바 인자 안에 라니 지구 탈바톱네 코와를 줘제 탈바톰의 디기도 somebody 시위 타제 지사 닝지 매비 원거리 했대 지사 닝지 요반의 현sem제 탐지기도는 상당으로 지사 시위 탈려 줘야 돼 아니 닝지 공부를 했어 닝지 공부를 했어 코에 탈려 줘야 되라 아니 동반이 또 배실라서 저 공부를 해 시위 탈려 줘야 되라 아니 닝지 공부를 했어 this is what 아니 디디 추시도
Okay. Dante konde kana karen di shita chikpo ki kola sumpe chikpo shita chikyang sumpe
shita dejinye le sheje chibalo ala
Dante madave. Okay. Then the third line for us. So I'll read the first two and then the third line. I pray to meditate with the union, having abandoned the calm abiding that lacks the power of meditative insight to quell the extreme of existence. And that is detached, the new third line, that is detached from the moist compassion to quash the extreme of peace. That is detached from the moist compassion to quash the extreme of peace. So here, So here then, what is meant by the extreme of peace? So this is a goal that practitioners may well have, of seeking liberation from samsara, but motivated to achieve liberation, their own liberation from cyclic existence. So the motivation is to achieve their own liberation solely. So they're motivated to achieve individual liberation. This is their motivation. So they've recognized the root cause of our suffering. What is keeping us bound in cyclic existence is the ignorance of self-grasping, and it's a realization of the antidote, the wisdom realizing emptiness on the basis of the union of calm abiding and special insight, like we heard before. They've recognized all of this, and they've perhaps done so, but they're motivated by their own individual, by the achievement of their own individual peace. So what is lacking for these practitioners is the mind of compassion, is the mind of compassion for all sentient beings, because their motivation is for individual liberation. And that is then what is meant in this third line, that is detached from the moist compassion to quash their extreme of peace.
Bendigo gom che nyamlen che dame ba to be dong yu gom ane gom che so so da ngara tar ba to gu du sem bi ge rang yi ji bu don da ge sam da che ane dong yi do de ne lam nyamlen che de ne nya be ne nya de cha chu ba da ran ja cha chu mi chu to so ba ina da gon zo tar ba le si bi to si ba le zhe sa de ko tar ba to sa ba da den ko ko wa jie yo ma de ko wa le tar sa ba le yin ne ga re yo re se shi ta le ne ba le so da shi ta 다 소소 디 제님 아도 신심자 탐제 상유 고방 토에 돈달라 다 냠내 능고 말했어. 진짜 니만에 안에 가서는 닝지 매비긴게 돼. 닝지 첨부기요 말했지. 제산다 디 데네기 시달에 타야 되라 닝지 첨부 공부를 진짜 태바 첨부 주인이 상유 고방 토발라 장슈심 거로 봐. 장슈심 냠는 지 거래. 장슈심 냠는 제 발라 장슈심 닝지 첨부 거래. 제사 닝지 심자 탐제 동안나 자야기 닝지로 기리면 메나 안에 소소 타바 덤네 되네 냠는지 되마도 심지엔 탐지기 된다라 삼마다서 장시심 공부만 상여고가 토투 말해서 되네 인자네 되네기 시외 탈려 줘와 되라 안 줘와래 니침부 공부를 해서지 지상 코위에 탈려 줘와라 동요도 비셔라 공부를 다 코와를 자주미지고 톱나야 될래 타지 야 상여고만 토와라 니침부 공부를 시외 탈려 줘와라 니침부 공부를 해서 니가 공부를 해서 왔다.
So what is being said in these first few lines, I pray to meditate with the union, having abandoned the calm abiding, that lacks the power of meditative insight to quell the extreme of existence. So here, the aspiration that is being expressed is that recognizing that in order to attain liberation from cyclic existence, one has to meditate on selflessness or on the emptiness of inherent existence. And one has, because without that one will never be liberated from samsara. And moreover, for the mind to have sufficient strength, this mind of wisdom to have sufficient strength, it has to be conjoined with the union of both calm abiding and meditative insight. And this overcomes the mistaken notion that calm abiding alone can lead to liberation. It does not have sufficient strength. It requires to be in union with meditative insight. So here, the extreme of existence means remaining bound, remaining trapped in samsara. And if one only meditates with calm abiding, one will not attain liberation from samsara. So the extreme of existence, with existence being a synonym for samsara, the extreme of samsara means one remains bound within samsara. So here the prayer is recognizing, may I never come under the deluded notion that meditating on selflessness with calm abiding is sufficient. I have to develop the union of calm abiding and meditative insight, and thereby meditate on emptiness, and in order to attain liberation. Then the next line, that is detached from the moist compassion to quash the extreme of peace. The aspiration here is not to make the mistake of meditating with the union of calm abiding and special insight on selflessness or on the emptiness of inherent existence, with a motivation that lacks compassion. And in particular here, compassion would refer to great compassion, which is the cause that gives rise to bodhicitta. So what's being expressed here is that a yogi who's meditating on emptiness with the union of karma abiding and special insight but lacking great compassion will achieve liberation from samsara, but they'll only achieve individual liberation for themselves alone. So here the aspiration is not to make this error, because then one will only achieve what is called the extreme of peace, which means the peace of individual nirvana, the peace of nirvana, but for oneself alone, and that makes it an extreme. So one will achieve the peace of nirvana, but for oneself alone. So not to make this mistake of striving to realize emptiness and attain liberation from suffering, but for oneself alone, may we give rise to great compassion. So that's the meaning of what has been expressed thus far.
That call a drag, don't you to be shared a mebaja, don't ye model, when the mebala were, don't ye to be shared a mebache. Then a Niji Chimbo mebache, and then the nigger don't you to be shared a Niji Gan mebache, and the Niga mebache, that young thing is a senior troop, thing is a senior troop, something, Kunyamne Mangurwa, that Chirobala, that in a Mangurwa. The nigger Yamne Cheva in it. This is a man chair the colleagues, deep Yamninja, something Yamninja, call a drag, call a two mares, Carson Tony Doyle Marwa, just a Tony to be Sheramevaza, this someday she near troop chair, she near Tovare, thing is something Tovare there, the Yamne combo in there, call a two res, call a two mares. Kimza Garelana, Koyu, you then Jensen Bantu mares. Matu Carson. Don't you do your mother, don't you to be shared your mother's? Then, ya Jinganzoge, Janjusimbi, Sanjoko, Toya, Janjusimbi, and Yamlin, deleping matters, Carson Ninji or Maras. Just the Nigi Mebans and Ninji Mevache, and then Kuno Ninji, then Dame Tony to be shared Mevache, the Shinir Trupche, Sunday Combaina, did you come be Tibuti, Mang Jedi, Parshawadi, Kiwachima, and young quality is quality you check this. Carson come go maliki to Gurua, Susumilakino quality, which is a quality you is what that. Then you get, don't you to be shut up down, Ninja Kaya Meva, and a senior troop chair, and a senior troop, then something at the combina, departure wadi, and quality you check this.
Then you go to the Nippon Yamaso, Consul Ninja Temple Yomare, in a Shine Laton Ni Yore, Shini Chipo.
Don't you to be Shera Yomares, Mebaza, Shinio Comche, something comba in air, quality.
And they younger, Consul Yam, Ninja Temple Yomare.
Just a Ninja Temple Mebaza, Sanjoko talk to him, you check my resort. Kabachim, you chavala, and Jajusim you couldn't allow with Kugua, then answer Ninja Mebaza, Jajusim Yomare. Mebaza, and they something go by the Sanjo go on to be Tabachim, you check on my Sanjo go to you check on Mare. Don't you to be share up Meba in them, quality to Mare. Just not any in Zan, the Niki, don't you to be share me, Ninja Chimba Mebache, then thing is in Comje, thing is in Combina, the Mancha Kawachi, Giwachima, quality, Uramato, Tabada Tamjetin Toby, you check on Mare.
And so here in these, for us, the second and third line, what is being expressed is that may one never make the error of striving to develop the mind of calm abiding alone, and doing so without cultivating wisdom and compassion. So one here is primarily expressing the aspiration to not make the mistake, to strive just to develop powerful mind of concentration, but without meditating on wisdom and compassion. And so the aspiration is being expressed because in the world there are many people who are striving to develop the bliss of concentration, and according to their particular philosophy, this may lead, they think will lead them to the achievement of liberation. But this is not the case. Because if wisdom is lacking, then whilst one may have attained concentration and the bliss associated with that, one lacks the wisdom that realizes emptiness, which is the antidote to the root cause of suffering. So liberation is impossible. And therefore, the causes that are being accumulated through the cultivation and abiding in the bliss of concentration will only ripen in further samsaric rebirths. They will end up being there will be causes for continued rebirth in samsara, not liberation. And moreover, engaging in these meditations on the cultivation of calm abiding and the continued regeneration of calm abiding and enjoying the bliss of calm abiding, but without great compassion, without this motivation of great compassion, all these causes that one is accumulating will not lead one to enlightenment, because the motivation of great compassion is absent. Rather, one will be still only accumulating causes for further rebirth in samsara.
시벌 편바 제바 있어도 팔체 되니기 삼된디기 띵에 진여 줍제 삼단 공바이나 대중의 팔체와도 시버 코알에 끼워지 규칙을 했지. 지난 팔체에도 망체와라 그러. 지난 차상 말에서 그거와 디나는 차상 검제 탐지 코알기 그래서 니기 말에 그래서 내가 당보 그런냐 동이 마도지 니지 매바지 되니 신의 줍 띵에 진줍 신의 톱 디젤량 지금에 신의 공 되니 아직 동반이 되는 삼다 안에 잠니지 삼다 고마이네 대신에라 당보 동이 마고 동이 마도 되니 잠니지 쳐 마기니라 그 신의지 삼대로 신의 공고로 와 대신에 공바디 동이도 베시라요 말에 니지 신배 신요 니가 무슨 말해대 근데 야 코알기 규칙을 해발라나 자 디도 비 코알기 기르벨라네 기 말에 그래서 그 지제라 장주스 니제 냠는제 장주스 냠는제 딘동이도 베시라 냠는지 거래 진짜 니네 냠는제 소바는 대신에라 공바디기 돕기에네 딩이 좀 공부 돕기 네 코알기 기르에서 니지가 말해서 그러다
네 지는 패서 보거나 네 담보 맞소 닌제 당 컴퍼니니 공기업거래
당보 진의 줍제 동반이 또요 말 동반이 상마당 니제 상마당 신의 줍 딩에서 신의 줍 신의 줍전에 신의 줍는 신의 하 톱차라제 되는 신의 공부로 와 되는 공 되는 디젤라 안에 기위신 전에 안에 양 잡아침be 기위신 체제 디젤이야 최슈 니집에 냠는제 동유도베 동이기 냠는제 되는 동유도 되는 니지 전부 계속 와이나 디 가사의 시로도 개와치 망가선 기기를 코알 기기를 니기게 규칙 말해제 대시 동이도 동이 마도 니제 마고 메니라 거의 딩이지 신의 검소 되는 신의 공부 대부디기 개와치마 안에 코알 기와 규칙이 무슨 니지기 말해 당보 안에 지기를 와고 가서는 동이 또 민도 니지 전부 기민도 알았나 니케야 말디 제일야 니지 검제 거 마신이를 니지 검 동이 또 차지 또 거를 니네 디기게 네 코알 기가 말 코알 규칙 말해서 대시 코알 기를 규칙을 해야 돼 닝제에 동이 마도제 되니기 딩이 장장 검 삼대 검제 되니 제일야 안 동이단 니지 롭장 맞제 맞제 되니 시선외나 가와기르스네 코알기르에서 올때 더나디시오래
The final line here is, and that mostly propels one back to cycles of existence. So I'll read the third and fourth. This is that is detached from the moist compassion to quash the extreme of peace, and that mostly propels one back to cyclic existence. So this refers to the first line where you're praying to meditate with the union, having abandoned calm abiding that on its own has these faults, and then serves to mostly propel one back to cyclic existence. And this is because if a practitioner just cultivates calm abiding, or even if they go on to develop calm abiding and special insight, but they leave it at that, and they just abide in the bliss of these minds, all they are doing is accumulating further and further causes for rebirth in cyclic existence. However, a practitioner who generates calm abiding and the union of meditative insight, and then receives instructions from their teachers on the cultivation of the minds of great compassion and wisdom realizing emptiness, and then uses these powerful meditative minds to meditate on the instructions they have been taught in, then they will rapidly gain realizations of compassion and of emptiness. So through these, having attained these realizations on the basis of calm abiding and meditative insight, the causes this practitioner is accumulating, these will not lead to uncontrolled rebirth in cyclic existence at all. They will not be born in cyclic existence. But the practitioner who just whose practice was only as developed as having calm abiding and perhaps a special meditative insight, they are only accumulating causes that will lead to continued uncontrolled rebirth in cyclic existence, because they haven't gone further and meditated on compassion and emptiness.
Shine Pande Sundio Combar Show, that Shine Pande Sundio Combar Show, then Shine Pande Sundio Combar Show, Shine Panje, this Sundio Combas in a Caracombo, the Shila Sundio and Shine the Lao Sundio Combo Larva, the Shine de Pang, then the Sundio Combar, then the Shine Pande, Shila Sundio Comias, Minua, and Calagor, some big, some like courses.
So the fourth line in Tibetan is the first line for us. So again, I was reading it and then laughing at the absurdity of how it's written. So I'll read it exactly as it is in Tibetan. Abandoning calm abiding, meditate on the union. And that, of course, sounds absurd, because what is the union? It's a union of calm abiding and meditative insight. But you've just said before that, abandon calm abiding. So that, of course, then it seems really idiotic.
지산 디파 샤제 아니 동이 군롱아 자주 셈지 니제 뭐 예주 니제 셈제 등 동안나 자나 셈비기 닌체체 동안나 자도 니제 니왕게다 셈제 탐지 상요고 토바 지기스 자주 셈게 군롱아 되니게 군롱아들라 아니 다 군롱아 되니키네 안데 셈제 탐지 코발레 좋아 셈제 상요고 토보자 아니 디 빠야기 규조 디 빠야기 코발게 규조가 다진디레 디파야라 동이도 비셔라 제가 데니기 동이도 동이도 비셔라 계제 데네기 동반일에 미비기 실라 신에다 하도 송제 공부레스 공야고 냠는 지도를 쇼세데 제가 동이도 비셔라단 매셔야 매바 니지 첨보야 매비기 신이 데니기 신이 짱짱 공대와디 디 마홈바지 디방고레 디파샤제 데니기 미바디 동반일에 파 미셰 아니 동인이 동반이라 비비실라 송제 디냠는 제대야 아니 군노 자주스 니제다 자주스미 군네스 라제 아니 질라 송제 냠는 제토쇼 세드만음 야고 레제.
The meaning then of this fourth line, and actually the entire verse, is to abandon the striving for and the attainment of mere calm abiding. By mere calm abiding meaning and not utilizing this mind in accordance with the Buddha Dharma, but rather abiding in the bliss of calm abiding and thinking that this alone is a path to happiness. So that way of thinking, that mistaken understanding, is what is to be abandoned, and that is what is meant by having abandoned calm abiding. But rather to meditate with the union of calm abiding and meditative insight. Because it's when one has generated this calm abiding and meditative insight, the union of these two, and then applies it to the object of the emptiness of inherent existence, and the wisdom that is meditating on emptiness is conjoined with great compassion or bodhicitta, then one is creating causes for Buddhahood. Then one is intentionally striving to eliminate the root cause of all suffering, the ignorance of self-grasping, and one is doing so motivated by great compassion. One is doing so as to become a Buddha for the sake of others. So what is meant to be abandoned is mere calm abiding, for one's own enjoyment, but rather to cultivate the union of calm abiding and special insight to be applied to the objective of the wisdom, to the object of emptiness or the lack of inherent existence, for the sake of attaining enlightenment for all sentient beings.
Dene zijine gombe kala dangbo anzu lule kanga yorwa, lule kanga yorwa, yang semdi zijine manye baje pa chöre semle ya kanga yungurwa. Dene zijiru ne je jang kansam jilya, jik kazi zijiru ne duena, kazi duena duetuwa, luda semni kala kanga mea pege, lu sem, luda semni kala ya, dena la chi kye jika, desimi shinja shindu chawe dewa se kye. Dene ki dewa di kye yandu, dene ki dewa di ki simpige, tomba nyele zijiru bi tingin zindela, 동일의 미비시네라 고르와다 동일의 미비시네
So the situation we find ourselves now when we meditate is we have particularly distracted minds. We struggle to hold an object for more than a few moments, and then eventually we bring it back, and then it goes off again. And this is because we lack concentration. Our mind doesn't abide calmly. But when we make great endeavor, and we eventually come to hold an object single-pointedly and do so single-pointedly for any duration of our choosing, then we have almost completely attained calm abiding. The mark or the sign of attaining actual calm abiding is when the bliss of physical and mental pliancy arise within oneself. Then one has attained calm abiding on whatever object one has been cultivating. Then if that object is an emptiness, then one moves one's object to the realization of emptiness and slowly recultivates emptiness recultivates calm abiding on emptiness. And when one does so with actual calm abiding on the object of emptiness, in other words, when one has the experience of or the arisal of the bliss of physical and mental pliancy, whilst the object that is being meditated on is emptiness, then this is called the calm abiding observing emptiness, or it's called the bliss of pliancy observing emptiness. So the mind that is this bliss is observing the object emptiness.
Lusum Shindu Chave, Deve Simbe, Tingit in the Tonya Lamibi Shineche. That Tonya Lamibi Tishu never Shine Dingane, that Tingit in Nanyum do you can share up Tiki Pa Jebache, Jebache, you the Tomba in la Jebache. The Nigi Jebache and Gaze, Jebache Dukabla, Tingit in the same Tishu Nation Bangane, Simpamoyo, Nation Bangane, share at Jebache, Jebache, Kansam Gilia, Jebache, Damodiwana, Jebache, hunting in Jebache. Sherati Jebaji things pa you to the new Musara. Then it got Jangi and Gazam Chigla. You the shitting it in the Toman Nation Bangane, Sherap to him pa Jebache, you do Jebache on the dinner. Niga Jebache Tubache, things in Nation Bane Jebache. Then it Jebache on the dinner, Jebache the Gazam Chil, Luda Sem Nigala, Ganga Meba, now Shin to Shabi, Deva Saji. Then he is Shinjang and Deva to begin. Dene don't to be shut up that thing is needed la that don't do the Shila Sontes.
Did Tama de Shinjangi Deva de
Simba? Shinjangi Deva Simbi, shut up Jebachi, be shut up the Gigua. The don't tomba in the Jebachi, be thinking on it, Ting on the tomba in the Jebachi, be shut up the Kiene and the Kion do Jie ne Lu Sim Xinjiang Dewe Simba Xingyong Denigi set up the Latong so Latong. Sule Lama Tong is the Shinegi Tomba Shinedi Jeju Nejamo, the Jebajan Tongo Mara. That was Jebaji Jeju Nebing on the Jebaji Tongwanza, you Tobanza, Latong. Jena Deniga set up the Latong Che. Deni set up the Dang Shineni Niga that Chan Niga Yum the Yoderova, she lost some dress Koniga, Niga Yum the Yos, she lost Shinan Hato Sundu, some dress and Niga Yum the Yobas. On Dinium de Yoba, she lost one day. That is Della Tonya, maybe she lost some dress or that.
Then the Alcazong, then the Xinjiang de Zhao Yore, a de Zhao Carrere, then he
set up Kicheba to the Dambo Lula Kanga, or things in nation behind the Jiba Shineda Jimaro.
The Xinjiang Tokiaki law, then he Xinjiang Kietu, the Mikpate, the company there, then Xinjiang Ki Zingire.
Simite what Lula Kanga Meba, similar Kanga Meba, the Jibaro. Me but things in the me but Tonya Media. Ding on a sheriff to get Jebachi, you don't want your Jebachi or it. Don't you got don't want your Migo.
Then Xinjiang Ki Xinjiang there were they Ki you there like Zingire.
You kiss your cousin. Lula de were the Yuski Shioma, Luda Semnica, Galana, Delana Jungore. Just down to get Calais Japche, Calais Jabu. There's a tango thing is in Jebachi, similar Kanga Lula Kanga Yunguru. She said, Dinesa, Kazi Jebach, things in the Utila, Dominant nation being Hane, don't share up the part, Kazi Jebach Havana, and Gazam Chilia, Luda, Semnica, Kanga Mebache, and Delana Chilium, Digorwa. The Nicola Savagella, the share up the share up the Laton Tobade, Stapon or Chaba. The Shinela Laton Chaba, Jebachi.
There goes so. Then Shine Latong Sungjo Gi Kari Tompani Tok Pe Kabla, then he the Xinjiang Dang Yore, he need the Shirak Sungjo Gi set up de Gi Tompani Tokire.
Shirak Yorwa, the same Lusim Niga de Delala said Yodro, the Bendigo, Gom Devi Kabla Delala Yorwa.
Then it goes, then it goes.
David Simba said. Okay. This is Shinera Jiba, Shineo Gombe Kabla, Simsing Deva Sajura, did a Jiba.
Okay. So and we'll take the explanation a little further now. And in this process, the lack of clarity of the last segment will be corrected. Okay. So so first, in dependence on whatever object, the yogini is cultivating this object in her awareness, and eventually is able to hold it single-pointedly without any distraction at all. And that is almost calm abiding. Then when the physical and mental bliss of pliancy arises in her mind, then she's said to have attained calm abiding with regard to that object. Then, let's say after that, a new object is to be, the mind of calm abiding is to be placed onto a new object of emptiness. So then emptiness is meditated on and realized, and then the mind of calm abiding is placed slowly onto this. So now the realization of emptiness is a much subtler object than was perhaps used before. And so with quite some practice, then this mind of calm abiding is applied to this new object of emptiness. And slowly over time, then eventually, the mind of calm abiding can hold the object of emptiness single-pointedly for any duration, and then the physical and mental bliss of pliancy once again arises, and then the mind of calm abiding has been placed by the yogini onto the object of emptiness. So the mistake from earlier was saying it's the bliss that is holding the object. So the bliss just accompanies the mind of calm abiding. But it's a mind of calm abiding that is holding the object. But the power of calm abiding is that one holds the object and gains strong familiarity with it because it's undistracted. The problem with calm abiding is that as soon as one tries to investigate, calm abiding is lost. And that is because calm abiding can be called single-pointed concentration. As soon as one is analyzing, that's not a single-pointed mind, it's an analyzing mind, so it's looking from various perspectives, thinking. So when you think about something, you're thinking from various perspectives. That's not single-pointed. So whatever object is being held just with calm abiding, as soon as one introduces analysis and investigation, the calm abiding is lost. So then the yogi needs to continue their process and now develop the mind of meditative insight. Because calm abiding is a single-pointed mind. The mind of meditative insight is a mind of investigation, of analysis. So what the process is, having gained proficiency in holding the object of emptiness with calm abiding and experiencing the bliss of physical and mental pliancy, then introducing investigation and losing the single-pointed concentration, then reapplying calm abiding and trying again to investigate, losing the calm abiding, reapplying calm abiding, trying to investigate again. So this process continues for a little while. And as the yogi progresses, they gain ever greater proficiency in being able to hold the object single-pointedly and investigate. So this is as they're gaining a skill with the mind of special insight. And eventually, they are able to both hold the object with single-pointed concentration whilst analyzing the object repeatedly from many different angles for any duration of time. And then it can be said that they've almost attained the union of calm abiding and special insight, where union means the two together. So they've almost attained it. All that's missing is the rise of bliss and pliancy. And when the physical and mental bliss of pliancy arises in the yogi's mind, whilst holding the object with calm abiding and investigating with meditative insight, then the union of calm abiding and meditative insight, observing emptiness, has been attained. Hopefully clear. Now having attained, given aspiration to attain calm abiding with the union of meditative insight, then the next prayer is to generate or to practice the perfection of wisdom. Now, verse 22, new translation, long lines. Okay. I pray that I banish absolutely the entirety of harmful wrong views. Is the first line, that grasps as supreme an emptiness that is only partially known or mentally fabricated. Second line, born from fear of the most profound truth of reality. Fourth line, realizing all phenomena to have been forever empty. So read the first two lines because there's probably the most in there. I pray that I banish absolutely the entirety of harmful wrong views. So that's the first line. I pray that I banish absolutely the entirety of harmful wrong views. The second line, that grasps as supreme an emptiness that is only partially known, that's one aspect, or mentally fabricated, second feature. That grasps as supreme an emptiness that is only partially known, or mentally fabricated. So those are the first two lines. The third, born from fear of the most profound truth of reality. Born from fear of the most profound truth of reality. And then lastly, realizing all phenomena to have been forever empty.
최근에 지내 랑응의 주바 싸우기네요 말했어. 랑응의 주변 동바들라 동일라그리스 동일에 디순고로 와다 지 내루 세요. 내루 삼매 되디 내루 삼모 동반이 된다데 가래라네 최탐제 랑응의 주변 동바들라 아니 동일라그리스 마순고로 와다.
The first line in Tibetan is our third line. Born from fear of the most profound truth of reality. So looking at the first part, the second part of this line, the most profound truth of reality. Reality here, the term used for reality is emptiness, means emptiness. And in other translations, you would have come across this as the way of abiding, or the mode of existence, or the natural state. So this is the term here, reality, or which means emptiness. So then now I've lost myself, here we go. The most profound truth of reality. So what is this most profound truth of reality? So reality is emptiness. And what is the meaning of emptiness then? Emptiness means that phenomena do not exist in the way they appear. They are empty of existing in the way they appear. How do they appear? They appear as being inherently existent, and they are empty of inherent existence. So what does emptiness means? Phenomena do not exist in the way that they appear. The way that they appear is inherently existent, and they do not exist inherently. So this lack of existing inherently is what is meant by emptiness of inherent existence.
그래서 디네 숨바인자 최탐지 동바니 세 된다 가래 남는 최탐지 라신 유튜브 동바데라 동바니 라기레스 된다 동바니 된다 디레스 라 시게 디네 데 자규네스는 자규네 신나기로 되지 자바스 그래서 오다 라신 유튜브 지면다 최다 라신 마도발라 최탐지 균이 자위니 매바 차로 그래서 매서나 레규데요 말레스 산지고 방타요 말레스 진짜 차상 매바 차로 그래서 라시 최탐제 라시 마좀나 최탐제 매바 차로 그래서 디네게 안 주게 지게 레규리 매바 차다다 아주 레규리 킬링에 남고했나 어다 레규리 매바 차데 배사기 돼서다 산지고 방톰는데 토에 맨나 탈고 토에 맨나 땡아 좀 냠내 지고야 민주 와서비 다 디네데 말해 섬지 디네 맨나 차상 매바 차로 그래 섬지 시나기고 레지래 시나기네 갈섬 그러서는 근데 내가 저기 짜규니 다 데니기 시나기지 최탐제 라신이 주바면 최탐제 매바 차그리 선비로 지어로와 최탐제 라신이 마도나 최탐제 매바래 매바디 데니기 삼바이나 아니 디 뢰지비 동이 소 최탐제 라신이 주바면 라신이 마도나 매조그리 삼바데 원리진이 매고 말와 최탐제 라신이 마도바래 최탐제 여로와 이네 zamnala chetan rashi marubda mego gure sam su sam gore jedamawa dodeba ane kasa simzaba umarang yuba chiruba chasangi garson chetamji rashi jubare le gurwa khono de jesa chetamji rashi marubare labna rashi jube tongbare labna dini chetamji rashi marubare chetamji meba sha gres chetamji rashi jube tongbare chetamji zawino yoba mai ba charu gures dini yoba mai ba samlodi wangi chetan yoba mai ba chage sambade löjige dongba löpa sueje chetamje yebi dongba charu gus löpa samdango reje de löjige dongba de la
de tamade löjige dongba de chipo yankasung de kola chipo sung na
löjige dongba le chetamje rashi majuba ina chetamje meba charu re sambe deni löpa 소식이 뢰파 차지 최근 라시 마도는 최근지 매바래 삼바이나 뢰파 소식 매바 차바래 마도 지다 매바 바래 이 매바 차게 됐으면 내가 뢰지기 동바시
근데 한규바면 제기다
아니 점점 그런데 한규바만 제기 차상의 최담지 라시 마도는 최담지 매바 차게 됐으면 거로 와다 제가 디 라시 마도는 최담지 매바디 아니 그 동바니 말에 그거도 뢰파 수행의 동바 뢰지 동바에서 최담제 라시 마줍나 최담제 매바디 동바에서 최담제 예바 라시 좀 예배 동아에서 这对的要么嘞，你把绿学些，可能是绿把学你下这得了绿这个东把下去。
这场工作差几多？现在可以给的。
现在业绩呢，里面觉得那些毛中呢，里面是这里面里面把那个的，点的你买的什么讲，你过来，以前呢，你过来觉得那些毛中的没入的什么的，得绿这个东把下去。
So our third line again, born from fear of the most profound truth of reality. So here, the profound truth of reality refers to the truth of emptiness, that no phenomenon exists inherently. Nothing at all exists inherently. That is the profound truth of reality, or the profound truth of emptiness. And for some, then fear arises when they come to realize this, when they come to understand this, rather. And this is because what they are hearing, or what they are understanding, is that no phenomenon has its own self-nature. It has no inner essence. There's nothing that exists that is self-established, that is established from by its own power. Nothing has its own self-essence. So why is this so earth-shattering for so many people? Is because, looking from the Buddhist perspective, if no phenomenon is self-existent, that means a Buddha, which is an existence, a phenomenon, doesn't exist. Buddhahood is an existent, doesn't exist, because it is empty of inherent existence. It's empty of self-existence. Therefore, they believe it has no self-nature, it cannot exist. Without having some essence of its own, cannot exist. Likewise, causes and results, these lack inherent existence, which means they lack their own self-nature. And if they don't have their own self-nature, they don't exist. So now they're hearing, there's no Buddha, there's no Buddhahood, there's no karma. And if that's the case, why bother practicing? And moreover, practice itself, so the minds one's trying to cultivate, these are also lack inherent existence. These are phenomena. They lack inherent existence. Therefore, they lack self-existence, or their inherent existence or self-existence, these synonyms, which means that the minds that we're trying to cultivate don't exist either. So of course fear arises, because their whole worldview is being severely challenged here. So this is the meaning then of the first line in the Tibetan, our third line, born from fear of the most profound truth of reality. Then we start the second line in the Tibetan, which is our second line, that grasps as supreme an emptiness that is only partially known or mentally fabricated. The first word in the Tibetan, the last word in the English, mentally fabricated. Or another translation of this term is rational constructs. Okay, so whatever one prefers. So what are these rational constructs or mental fabrications? So these refer to the views of Buddhists who are non-prasangikas, the Svatrantika, the Chitamatrans, the Sautrantikas, the Vaibhashikas. So they believe that everything has its own self-nature, that exists by way of its own nature, is inherently existent, or is truly existent, exists by way of its own nature. And so this is their this is their particular view, and it's being expressed here through this term of mental fabrications, because it's a view they're mentally fabricating. It's a rational view that they are constructing, so hence the translation, rational constructs. So this then is the meaning of that first term in our second line, that grasp as supreme an emptiness that is only partially known or mentally fabricated.
제가
Kuna de Tsukdang de Yankyat.
수단 수심에 참아 제신 유동바 세야지.
De Yankyat kana kasi de
수단 수심에 참아 제신 유동바 동바들라 동니스 켈링거와
the Tisko kana. Tsukdang Tsukdang Tsema.
제신 유동바 제신 유동바. 다디 말에나
Then go so. Then kick you Japan.
얘네기 동바디에 제사 랑시 줍되어래서 그런 최탐제 랑시 줍어래서 제사 그런 중에다 되게밖에 건조가 가르친 거라서는 최되게 가서
도대 배송패.
되게바 건조가 가르친 거라서는 아니 강사 랑제 튜비기 제수 줍이 동바디 동이래서 디 공략에 디도블로디 공바나 따와 초도지에서네 코로나지 디공바를 때는 탈표가 더 투그래 상유고가 더 투그래서 코로나지 따와 디슨 거와 진짜 다샘잠바로 시나 안데 따와 동니디가래라면 수단 수진체만 제신이 동바디 동니래서 데도블로디 공바이나 안야 타바 탐지기 먹고 더 투그래서 시걸
데디디고다 도대바 야마네ken
샘잠바 제신이 동배 동니디 동니래서 디공별로디 공바래나 안타바다 탐지기면 거 토투그레서 거 디시기로와 그래서 건축이 디 동이시에기 장제 투비 제수 투비 동바 동이시에데 코로나주기 동이리 디 디도블로디 다와 약쇼리에서 촉진바 다와 약쇼리라고와 나sem자비게 수단 수준 참만 제신이 동비 동바디 동이리에서 디도베 다와데 다와 촉진바리에서 촉 다와 약쇼리에서 그러와 세상 디 수단 수준 참만 제신이 동바세디 동이디 동인원에 말해서 가서는 디 이체의 동바를 가자 차상 가요 말했습니다. 가서 랑신주바 차상 가요 말와. 진짜 가자 랑제 디비스 주베 동바디야 동인원에 말해. 디야 거의 콜 민가서 이체의 동바를 그래서 이체의 동바. 그래서는 가샤 디티는 가샤 랑신 랑제 디비스 주바 가자 되어서 가바래데 가사 차상 가투요 말해서. 진짜 샘자비 동이 되게 동이 되게 가자디 되어서 가고마다 차상 가고 말해. 차상 가마도 인자 아니 디 동바디게 권적이 동바디게 동바니디게 니체의 동바니래서 보다.
데네 니체기 콜랑에 디 고성 데네 고다 러제기 콜라 데양
러제 데시 시에서서
데레레 얘네 네 셀포 랍디 요메 캐는 양켜 승나 되는게 하고게래. 러제
다니엘
그래서 너라 성사
러제세디 최탐제 라시 마주번에 매바 차주 그래서 그래서 최탐제 매바 차주 그래서 매바 차 매바래서 라시 마주는 최탐제 매바래서 매바디 예비 동바디 아니 동바디라 아니 발로에 쇠시네 최탐제 매바 말어 라시 마주나 최탐제 매바 말에 라시 마주나 최탐제 요래 이네 코로나 중에 삼문하는 최탐 라시 마주나 최탐제 매바래 삼로디 매바디 동바 디파 르쇠비 동바래서 가자 지에 가요 말 르쇠비 동바래서 거든
데네 라빈 데 강나리 랑기버 멘체레
다디 르쇠겐 수레스는 대유만 지게 디 거든 수고로
So this first term that we've just mentioned here, mentally fabricated. So this is a belief that I'll read the second line, that grasps as supreme an emptiness that is only partially known or mentally fabricated. So mentally fabricated refers to this mistaken understanding of emptiness, that if a phenomenon doesn't exist by way of its own nature, it cannot exist at all. It doesn't exist, and then they have this confusion that everything that all existence actually don't exist at all, and that the only way they can be said to exist is just by creating things, making things up. Hence, rational constructs or mentally fabricated. So they believe nothing exists and everything is just created by mind. So this is a mistaken view, a wrong understanding. Then the second term here, that emptiness that is only partially known or mentally fabricated. So what does partially known refer to? So this refers to the views of the Chittamatrans and the Sautrantikas of what is, according to their tenet, the realization of emptiness. When they attain the realization of emptiness according to their tenet, they think they have attained the antidote to cyclic existence and thereby can attain liberation. So according to their tenet, when they have developed the antidote to cyclic existence and they will attain liberation. But from the Prasangika's point of view, they have developed a realization that is of insufficient strength to eliminate all objects of negation, and therefore they cannot attain liberation. They have attained a realization of sorts, but it's of insufficient strength to actually eliminate the ignorance of self-grasping, and therefore liberation cannot be approached through the realizations of these lower Buddhist philosophical tenets. So, looking at them briefly, the Chittamatrans, they believe that the antidote to liberation is realizing that form and the mind apprehending form are empty of being different substances. So they attain this realization, and they think they have attained the antidote to cyclic existence. The Prasangikas say, congratulations, this is useful. You will be able to weaken and perhaps eliminate certain objects of negation, but nowhere near an actual realization of emptiness. So therefore, this realization will not take you to liberation. Likewise for the Sautrantikas, their object is to realize the emptiness of the self-sufficient, substantially existent self. And they believe when this is realized, emptiness is realized. And when this is, or selflessness is realized, they would say. And that this is their supreme view. And they hold this view to be supreme, believing it leads to liberation. Just like the Chittamatrans believing that the realization that form and the mind apprehending form are empty of being different substances, that this, when we realize that, emptiness has been realized, and so they hold this as their supreme view. And both here, with their differing supreme views, believe that these will lead to liberation. Prasangikas say, no, you're mistaken, because those views only will eliminate coarser objects of negation, or objects to be eliminated, won't even start on the subtler ones. So this is the meaning then of our second line, that grasp as supreme an emptiness that is only partially known, so those of the Chittamatrans and the Sautrantikas, or mentally fabricated, so those who end up thinking that nothing exists if it doesn't have its own self-nature.
지난 최탐제 라신이 마루나 최탐제 매바 차그리 선배 삼로디 로베다 로베 삼로와 로베 로시에 차그와 로베다와 얘네 최탐제 라신이 마루바 있나 네 최리기도 요 말에 세리기도 요 말에 산지 고마토야 요 말에 선 삼다베나 얘네 차사 로베다와 차그와 엔디 마세 다 얘네기 가사 란예 투비 제수 투비 동바 도비 로디다 로야쇼레서 동이 di tongyi to lo di chodu yuba re samene de kaso le di lokshe ru cha ru wa chodu yuba lokshe cha ru wa de ne za de ni gi lokshe cha sa bang ji lo be da wa chi sa bang ji ane de ni gi ma ji wa sho su de ne ma ji wa je dong ba ni de xue gun de ne dong ba do ba sho wa se dong ba ni de ne ra ne ma no wa di ya do ba sho se de mo lam ji go re ji.
In our third line, no, Tibetan third line, our first line. I pray that I banish absolutely the entirety of harmful wrong views. So here we're expressing the aspiration of the verse, and to banish absolutely the entirety of harmful wrong views. And the harmful wrong views are what we've heard being expressed So this view of extreme of nihilism, believing that things do not exist at all if they lack their own, as they lack their own self-existence. And so therefore there's no such thing as Buddhahood, there's no such thing as the law of cause and effect. So here an aspiration is being expressed to completely eliminate such a wrong view and never come under its sway. And in addition, to never come under the influence of wrong views, believing in a mistaken emptiness, an emptiness believing that the form and the consciousness apprehending the form as different substances, when one realizes that this view of emptiness is wrong. So may one never come under the mistaken view of the Chittamatrans or of the Sautrantikas, who believe that realizing that the self is empty of self-supporting substantially existence, may one never come under such mistaken wrong views. And this is the meaning of what's being expressed in the first line. I pray that I banish absolutely their entirety of harmful wrong views.
Rangya tubi sisu tubi tongwa de togo korwa da di mato war shosa ne lagamra di to ane rangya tubi sisu tuba tongba de toje di tawa da tongyo tu lo yaksho re sanda gumar san dis kya sam de ne nurwa da di se korwa sesa deni enza di jibu kom deba samgen tarba top mares sesa deni enza nga juge tarba da tamje kimbe ko tobala an chedam bi rashi yu tubi tongba to kores di tongyo to lo de komje ane Sanjay Goba, Tarba Tamjiki Goba, Tumado, Shen, Ranshin YouTube, Tombe, Tony, the Matobaina, Rangya to be Sizuba, Tonga, some Tobi, Lodi Gomba, Latine, Tarba Tamjiki Begato to Mares, that is
what's being expressed here is that these other views of emptiness, whilst they are being held, is because they are being held as supreme, as the correct view. That is what is referred to here as wrong. So the belief that realizing that the self is empty of being self-supporting, substantially existent, or that emptiness is realized, the realizing that form and the consciousness apprehending form are empty of being different substances, holding these views as supreme, as the correct view, this is what is seen as wrong. And why so? Because the realization of these views, developing them in exactly the way as they are presented, does not lead to liberation or enlightenment. So here the expression is, the aspiration being expressed is never to come under the sway of such views, but rather to develop the correct view of the wisdom, realizing the emptiness of inherent existence, the one true path, the only path that can lead to liberation and enlightenment.
Change Sembata, Sanjo Koron, Yama Yamlan Ganis Nama, Nashi, Nanzo, Dinashi, Yamlan Naku, Ures. It's not that Ganesha or Lama and Dambo, Koron Tilia, Simja Tamje, Tumada, Jaduki, Jambata, and the Tumadewa, the Tendu Jamba, Simja Tumada, Jana, Simiji, Di Wongi, and Tumada, Java, and Gichi, Civil Hassam. Then Simja Tamji to the Sanjo Kotoba show, Sibi, Janshi Semcom. Geshe Thubten Rabten. Now, the nigger couldn't large and then to him the challenge. Then, this yellow carriage was in it. Toy Semba some don't some jump, then Jimmy Yam the Javores. Down under these yellow, Sutim Soya, the Sutim Gear. That's you are using your connection and never Jimmy, Simba somebody, Yane out of some town, then and the Sutim Soya the edge. And these yellow carriage was in the Subian Yam the chair server. Jengi never chabata, Denise, Rangi, Kamayu, Sim Machuache, Pa, Rinja, Tutuache, Disam Diana, Jangures. The Negi, Yamle Yabu there, give a Java Jalpe, Yapores, Gowris in the Gashan, Dredging on the Jundri Jangures. 다 준비에 자네 당한 저기 딩에 진 신의 주고 오르와다 다정한 저 신의 주야 마주가 있네 다정한 저기 유딜이야 아니 유 아니 야 유리야 당한 저기 때문에 꾸로시네 라랑게 라마 소리텔에 제지도 내체셈 샤나마야와제 델리아 대바 제지도 제델레 제지도 미제야 직야네야도 고미하다 아는 저기 자유 셈 기주체 셈자 탐저 산요 고바도 와쇼 셈베 삼나 기주 셈 샤다가 마야와제 디지부랑 삼다제 제지도 내제 내내기 신의 주에 신신의 가서 딩이진 고미하게 장 내디 신의 주기로 왔다죠 내내에서 내내 딩에서 장도라 냠내지 내내 장게 정에는 신의 주기야레스 신의 주고레스 내내 신의 주는 신의 대야 안 신의다가 신의 잡아서 많이 봐 되는 동반이를 미비 신의기 주고레스 뭐 두체 내내 공부레스 다 디젤라다만 지금 신의 주찬에 다 동반이를 미비 하동세 시럽기 제는 하동 공부레스 지사 내내에서 동의의 가능성이 세네 다 저 동의세고요 또야 고미야디 동의 이세와세야 돼 랑여티비 수주주 동바들라 디서 동바니 원내디 차고 말 지사 내내에서 동방원내에 가려라는 최담제 랑신기 주비 동바디 공부를 내도 공부를 해체 어디 디냐면 저거래서 뭐라다 내내에서 내내도 최담제 랑신 주비 동바세야 돼 아주 그진에 최담제電子 저와 좋아래 电子 저와 좋아서 규다见识 현실을 뛰는 주반사 강라에 뭐도 랑원의 주바도 요마레스 되게 야네 야도 섬나 다제 원에 동의 제가제
디 담아데 가서 그리 양켜 삼삼으로 당 양켜
최 담제 현래 뛰는 주바레스 현재電子 저와 좋아서 강라에 뭐도 랑원의 주바도 요마레스 지사 강라에 뭐도 랑원의 주비 동바 동의를 봐 디하고야라 電子 저와 좋아 삼당고레스 온두스는 삼당한 주기다 두 당외는 저기 인디니리아 저기 두섬 당외는 되네 그 냠는 제타한테 되네 예세데 되네 유토랑 아주 가랑 지야지에디 디차고르다 된 지사데 가산이 마지 디린 마슈베기 당한도 차상 삼다야로지 되네 다야로 신설하다.
We've now come to the end of the presentation on the practices of bodhisattvas, the 6 perfections. And today we looked at the 4 of patience, choice, perseverance, concentration, and the perfection of wisdom. And we're being encouraged by the author of the text, Rinpoche, to practice in the same way that he practiced, that all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, including Buddha Shakyamuni himself, trained. So we, following the example, wanting to attain the same results as they have, should be practicing in the same way. So here, the key points to pull out here in terms of our meditation is the need to engage in, when we meditate on these topics, to do so under the influence of the mind of bodhicitta, or to meditate on the perfections conjoined with the mind of bodhicitta. And this we generate, as has been mentioned before, through reflecting that there is no real difference between ourselves and any other sentient being, in that we share the same heartfelt desire to experience only happiness. We build this wish to the point of bodhicitta in the way that has been described before. And the second mind, depending on the training one has done, to incorporate, to conjoin with one's meditation on the 6 perfections, is one's understanding of emptiness and dependence arising. So whilst that will be covered finally as the 6th of the 6 perfections, if one has some proficiency in having cultivated this mind, utilize it throughout, as one can also concentration. So generosity, firstly, we've heard that this is the intention to give, and we've heard about how to develop this. When you engage in the meditations as been described before on generosity, do so conjoined with the wish to attain enlightenment for all sentient beings. And one can also do so with one's understanding of emptiness. Then the next perfection is that of ethical conduct. There's commitment to not harm others, to subdue and pacify one's mind and thereby one's physical and verbal actions. And with this commitment not to bring harm to any being, recognizing that all beings are suffering enough, and generated by this mind of bodhicitta, one's ethics become very powerful. primarily strive to overcome the selfish attitude, the self-cherishing mind. And here, whatever one's understanding is of emptiness and dependence arising, conjoin that too. And then we heard about the meditation today in detail on patience and joyous perseverance, as well as then on concentration. So the only point then to include here in concentration is, because we've heard in detail today about joyous perseverance and patience, so no need to mention again now. But concentration, this can be cultivated in two ways. Either through holding a visualized object, such as a mental image of one's Lama or of the Buddha, and holding this single-pointedly, repeatedly, gaining familiarity with this object. Or it can be cultivated on an analytical object. The difference being, a visualized object is a form that one visualizes, such as the image of your teacher or the Buddha, whereas an analytical object is where one first analyzes and then generates, when one comes to the realization, such as bodhicitta, that is the object. One abides single-pointedly on that analytical object. And one places one's mind single-pointedly, or one calmly places one's mind on the object. And this then is how one can cultivate concentration on an analytical meditation. And one can gain familiarity with or strengthen our concentration in whatever analytical meditation we do, whether it's generosity, ethics, patience, joyous perseverance, or any other. When we come to a conclusion of the meditation and a feeling for the meditation arises, abide on that, rest on that. And this way we develop concentration on this analytical object. And then, so that's then concentration. Then we also heard today about concentration, that this alone cannot lead to liberation. One must not ever come under the sway of thinking that even if one achieves powerful concentration and the bliss associated with this, that this becomes a cause for liberation. It has to be utilized further through the development of meditative insight, developing this as a union, and then meditating on compassion and emptiness, so as to attain the causes, to attain liberation from cyclic existence and enlightenment itself. So this is a key point that was brought out today. And then in the meditation, we've gone from concentration, we come to emptiness. And here we've heard that there is only one valid, one true presentation of emptiness. And that is that all phenomena without exception are empty of inherent existence. There's no phenomenon that exists inherently. But it is a wrong view of emptiness to think that therefore nothing exists, and that this understanding that therefore nothing exists, rather than we just make these rational constructs or these mental fabrications, that view of emptiness is wrong. That view of emptiness is wrong. Likewise, the view of emptiness that, having realized that the self is empty of being self-supporting, substantially existent, or realizing that form and that consciousness apprehending form are empty of being different substances, that realization, those two realizations of emptiness are partial. They are nowhere near the complete picture. The only correct or valid or genuine view of emptiness is the presentation that all phenomena are empty of inherent existence. And the way to meditate on this is, those of you who have been coming to the teachings on dependence arising will know well. So you need to meditate that all phenomena, so every object of meditation preceding this, those are all phenomena, as well as any other object one may think of, these lack completely any form of self-existence, yet they still exist through being dependent arising, through mere imputation by mind. So everything that exists despite being empty of inherent existence, still exists in that it is a dependent arising. And to turn that around, every phenomenon is dependently arisen, and it lacks inherent existence. So through the teachings that we've had in the other classes, then this process will be clear, and that is included at this point. And doing these meditations repeatedly over a sustained period, then change will definitely come to oneself. So time is well and truly up, so sorry about that. If you can hold on with your questions, then hopefully tomorrow will come. Thank you.